All right, we are out here. Let's see, you got me?
Rock Legion.
Let's get it. All right, we're gonna do. Let's run through. Oh yeah. Running through the private pilot maneuvers. Let's see, we got the brake on still. Turn that brake off. There we go. I'm gonna do a normal takeoff. We're lined up on the runway, keeping that center line, looking down. Get my airspeed up. Airspeed's alive. 55. Rotate. Positive rate. All right, we're gonna pitch for 76. So let nose drop. We want. There we go. Right there. Trim, trim, trim. Keep that right rudder in there. Climbing to 76. Oh, it looks so pretty out there. We're looking good out here, baby. Clear right, turn right. Oh yeah. Feel like you're really in that thing. All right. Climbing up. We'll keep climbing to 2,500. So as you're climbing out, you know, pick an airspeed, pitch the airplane up, trim the airplane. We want 76, so we're gonna release that back pressure just a little bit, get to 76, and then hold that pitch attitude just like that. So we got full power in. Power plus pitch equals performance. So full power, this pitch attitude right here is going to give me the performance of 76 knots in the climb. Alright, we're getting up here now. We're gonna do our steep turns. We're gonna pick a point outside, but first, let's do our pre-maneuver checklist. Let's level off 2,000. Put out power, about 2,300. Pitch 3 fingers under the horizon, trim the airplane, and the airplane's gonna do what it does. Clearing turns to the left and to the right. So we got fuel selected both, mixture rich, landing lights on. Clear left. When I'm clearing, I'm looking outside, looking for emergency place to land. I got a field right there. If I lose my engine, I'm looking for other aircraft in the area. Looking pretty out there. And then to the right. Clear right. Clear right. Looking at my altitude still good as I'm going through the turn. Looking outside. Looking good. Looking good. All right. Okay, so steep turns, private pilot maneuver. We're gonna do a 45 degrees. We're gonna left, then go right. And we want to maintain plus or minus 100 feet on our altitude. We got the power set. We got 2,300 on the RPMs. Before you get started in any maneuver, you got to make sure the airplane is smooth and trimmed out. Don't ever start a maneuver if you ain't trimmed and sitting smooth. All right, airplane is trimmed. All right, clear left, turn left. Go into the turn. Now as I go into the turn, you can trim or not trim, but the idea is look outside and find where the horizon cuts across on the cabin, and keep that, and then keep coordinating. Good turn, looking good. Ball is centered. I'm climbing a little bit, so I'll release a little bit of back pressure so I don't climb up too much. Keep my bank in there. Step on the ball. There we go. Roll out. There we go. All right, now to the right. Right into it. Bank. Pull. Step on that ball. Keep that turn coming. Check my altitude. Cross check. Look where the horizon's cutting across. For me up here is right on the left side of the dash. Getting a little bit too steep. Decrease that bank. Still keeping that altitude. The ball is good. Approaching my heading. Roll out. Look at that. I think I lost 40 feet or something like that. Cool, too easy. All right, steep turns. Now we're gonna do our power on stalls. 60, 65. We'll go 60 knots. First notch of flaps, going down. Second notch of flaps, third notch of flaps, all the way down. Don't let the airplane balloon. 65. Here we'll go 60. So descend it a little bit. Hold that back pressure. Trim. We see the airplane's getting slow. We release a little bit of back pressure. That's gonna get our speed back. When we start descending, we add power. We add power. There goes a little bit of descent. Give a little bit of back pressure. Hold that. Get my altitude back. Now, of course, in the real airplane, it's gonna be a little bit more bumpy. So I lost 100 feet. Let's get it back. I'm losing speed and altitude, so let's go ahead and add that power back in. Keep that rudder in there. There we go. We don't want to climb too much. There we go, right there. Alright, slow flight. Turn to the left. See, it's going to be rudder that's going to get us a turn. See this? There we go. Climbing a little bit. And it's all small correction. Everything you do is small corrections. Nothing big when you're doing your maneuvers. All the corrections are big corrections. Now turn. Our rudder's going to get us through this turn. Ailerons really ain't going to get much. Look at that, looking good. Alright. Cool, now let's roll right into a stall. Stall and recovery. Pulling power to idle. Holding back pressure. Holding, keeping that right rudder in. Looking outside to give us a good reference point. Holding. Stall, stall, stall. Max, relax. Oh, snap. Max, relax, roll. So max power, relax back pressure, roll wings level, and get back to straight level flight. Oh man, this thing got away from me there. And that second notch of flaps. Put that rudder rack back in there. All right, we're back. Flaps up. Cool, we're gonna turn to the right. Clear right. How'd I do on that? Yeah, that was great. All right, cool. Now let's do power on stall. Reduce some power. Keep my rudder in there. I'm gonna let the airplane get to about 65, 70. Then I'm gonna add power. Add full power. And I want to pitch up and make sure I got that right rudder in there. Airplane's still slowing down, so that's good. That means we're doing it correctly. Waiting for the drop. Keep that right rudder in there. Nose drops, max. Relax. Wings level. Get that altitude back. And there you go. I'm gonna gain some altitude real quick. See, too easy, man. Too easy. All right, now we're gonna do engine failure. So, flying along and you lose power. What do? All right, first, pitch for best airspeed. So pitch for 75, trim. Point the airplane in the direction of emergency landing spot. Well, that's great. Oh, there's a field in front of us. 65, trim. There we go, trim. You want to trim it to, there we go, to 65, point in the right direction. Then we're gonna run through our emergency procedure. So fuel selectors on both, mixture's rich. We don't have carb heat on here. We'll make sure that the magnetos are on both, and we're gonna make sure that we have the primer and the lock if we got a primer. All right, engine's not restarting. Airspeed still 75, 76. And see, I hit, look, no hands. That's because I got it trimmed. And that's what you want to make sure you do, is trim the airplane, always. Okay. So I'm setting myself up. I'm at 1,700 feet. I can make that field. All right. Mayday, number 12345 has engine failure. We are at 1,500, white aircraft, one soul on board, south of 2 Whiskey 5. 3 hours of fuel. There it is. It's so easy and kind of relaxing when you're not actually going down. Alright, so I'm not going to make this runway, well, this dirt field. It's not really a runway, but I'm at 1,200, which means 1,000 feet. I'll beam this point. When I get to a beam where I'm going to land, I'm going to start this turn. I'm going to go a little bit past it because I got 1,000 feet to lose. Start my turn. Keeping it at 65. I'm looking at where that field is, and I'm definitely going to make it. Get these flaps down. I don't want to speed up too much. There we go, 500 feet. Let's get down a little bit. There we go. I think we're going to make this field. Don't get too slow. And back up. And this is a soft field, man. Boom. See? That's how you do it. You lose an engine, that's what you do. Alright, now we'll go right into this, into a soft field takeoff. So I'm going to go ahead and line up. We'll do a soft field takeoff. So the thing with the soft field takeoff, we want to make sure that we keep back pressure so we don't have that nose get dug up or dug into the ground. We're going to go full power. We'll go 10-notch flaps. Keep that back pressure on the nose. Once that nose comes up, just kind of hang out in ground effect. Get your speed up. Alright, got speed. Now we're going to climb up. That was a little aggressive. Alright, we want 65 and climb up. 55 is way too slow. Flaps up. Climb out at 75. Alright, Yeah, man. All right, let's get up to like 1,000 feet. Then we'll do turn around a point. Okay, good. We're still recording. Good. All right, so when we setting ourselves up for this, we're gonna go between 700 and 1,000 feet AGL. It's 200 feet here, so we need at least 800. We'll go with 1,000 as our altitude. Come on, power set 2,300. Let's get 2,300 in there. All right. Trim. Let's look for a point. Man, where are we trying to go? All right, so as I'm setting up for the maneuver, there's a couple things I'm looking for. Now, I know the standard practice makes sure you go downwind when you enter. You have the steepest turn in the bank on the turn, and then as you go around, you have the more shallow bank. That's good, but we're gonna do it a different way. Not saying ignore that, but I'm gonna show you another way, or in addition to a way to make sure you do this turns around a point in a good manner. First, I need to find a good place to do turns around a point. All right, so as I'm looking for my point, I'm gonna go with. Let me get up higher so I can find something. Once I find something, and then we'll get back down and knock it out. You know. Cool thing about this VR, like you actually get to look around and figure this stuff out. All right, we got a bunch of stuff over here to my right, so I'm gonna go over to this right side. Like I said, I'm gonna flip around. So I don't know if you can see my pointer or not, but we're gonna go with that building. Oh man, this actually. As I'm going higher up, I got stuff over here too. Okay. All right, let's get my altitude back down. We're gonna go with that. Looks like that right there, whatever that is. That's what we're gonna go with. As we go past it, we're gonna look at whatever is over us and look at for something at the. I wonder if there's a way I could. Nope, that doesn't work. All right. Start my turn. What I'm looking for is another point. Oh, that was my engine. My engine back. All right, as I go through this turn, I'm looking for 4 points that are the same distance around that point that I'm picking to fly over. And that's going to give my reference for the turn around the point. All right, so flying over there, look, we got the corner of that right there where that little area is. That's gonna be 1 point. I'm looking out front out there, and I'm looking at about that right there is our next point. So every time you get through the turn, you should be looking for what the next point you should fly over for measuring your distance. And so as you're going through, yeah, you're looking for the movement of your point in your windscreen. But you're also looking to see if you're flying over whatever that point is that you picked, that's the same distance. All right, now as I'm getting to this point, our next point I'm looking for is maybe right about there. I'm gonna fly, make sure that as I'm going through that's what I fly over. And you see I'm keeping that point kind of the same place under the wing. And it's gonna move to the left and to the right, but it's gonna look the same size. If it starts to look bigger, that means I'm getting too close. If it starts to look smaller, I'm getting too far. But I also know that I'm the right distance because I'm about to fly over the point. All right, now let's look. Let's see where the next point is. A little bit before here, so right about in between there is where I'm flying next. I got my altitude, got a little away from me, so. All right, so here I go. Coming through. Looking at that point, If it starts getting front, that's fine. Just looking at the size of it. If it gets bigger, we're getting too close. We need to let it go behind a little bit. If it gets too small, we need to turn back into it. Altitude looking good. Gonna bank a little bit. And there we are, right over our points. So we got 4 points. Even if I don't even look at the turn around the point, if I fly to all those 4 points, I'm gonna be doing a turn around the point. Do whatever I gotta do to get to those 4 points. Now that's just a backup, but you're gonna use that when you're flying in the traffic pattern. You're doing anything where you're using the ground as your reference to figure out where you're at. So boom, man, I got too much power in there. All right. So that's our ground reference maneuver. What's next? Let's do short field landings. Let's see, is there an airport around here? Let's see if there's an airport. We did soft field landings. All right, so you know, I went and ran through a few of the maneuvers for your private pilot check ride. And as you see in the sim, it just gives you another opportunity to just run through how you expect the flow to go, kind of things to think about. Another good way to chair fly. Run through everything if you can. And see, VR headsets, man, or VR goggles give me the full view to really get the perspective, to get the sight that I'm trying to get for the turns around a point, ground reference maneuvers. And then when we get in the traffic pattern, same thing. It gives you the ability to look around as you're flying to be able to really know, all right, am I a beam my touchdown point? All right, is the point moving forward or aft? You know, really gets you to fly it better, in my opinion. Downside, of course, is the checklist. I can't pull up a checklist and see the checklist because I got the goggles on my face. So that's the downside. I can't really run my checklist unless I know the checklist by heart. So, you know, this is a downside, but it's still pretty cool. All right, there's the airport in front of us. What we're gonna do, normally we listen to the radio, switch over. So atomic approach, November 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have 2 Whiskey 5 insight pattern work. And they switch us over to what they tell us. Stay on the transponder code. Switch to advisory 1227 to Whiskey 5 or Maryland. November 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 miles to the south. Inbound for runway 2. I don't know because I can't hear the weather. We'll go with runway 2. So what are the different ways you can enter the traffic pattern? If I'm going on runway 2, which is the opposite side, so it's left traffic and heading to 2020. So that means that I need to do one of two ways. I got one or two ways in which I can enter the traffic pattern. Traffic pattern is 1,100 feet. I can either fly over midfield at traffic pattern altitude and enter downwind immediately. Or I can be 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude and make a right teardrop entry. I think that way is a good way to do it if you got a lot of traffic and you're trying to see what's going on. I think going in at the traffic pattern altitude and entering down was a good way. If you're already set up, ready to go, and it's a good way for you to fit into traffic. The thing with that is you got to be ready to go when you enter downwind. So we're going to do that way. We're going to enter midfield, left into downwind, and do a short field landing. So I'm going to do my before landing checklist now. Seatbelt secured, fuel selector both, mixture rich, carb heat on, landing lights on. Alright, we're going to land on 1,000-foot markers. Oh man, that means I'm over midfield. Making my turn, and I'm doing short field landing, so I'm gonna land on the captain's bars. Let's make this happen. See if I can do it. Let's see if I got the skills. One try, all right, pitching for 75. First notch of flaps. I got 70, so I need to add a little bit of forward pressure, add a little bit of power. Clear left. Maryland traffic, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, base runway 2, Maryland. All right, Second notch of flaps, 79s. Aim point and airspeed. My airspeed's high. Looking at my aim point, I'm a little low. I can tell by the angle right now. My touchdown point that I'm looking for is the captain's bar, so the 2 lines. So let's see if we can still make it. Oh yeah, we're low. Full flaps. Aim point. I'm gonna aim before the captain's bar so that I can float, land, and touch down on the captain's bars. I'm looking at that stripe before that, and we're looking to make. Oh man, this one's blowing me over. Oh, I'm real short. Look at that speed. Go around. Power up. First notch flaps. Get my speed up. Climb out. Second notch flaps. Climb up 76. Alright, so lesson there. Shit. Don't force it. Don't be afraid to go around. Oh man, that was bad. Alright, what was the cause of that? Well, I'd say I rushed the approach. I tried to force myself in there and then wasn't on my airspeed. But at the end of the day, the most important thing you can do as a pilot is make good decisions. And don't get in a situation where you have to use your superior pilot skill instead of your superior pilot judgment. So yeah, I just went around and I'm gonna start over. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Maryland traffic number 12345. Crossing runway 2. There's the runway. Clear right, clear left. Maryland traffic number 12345. Downwind runway 2. Maryland traffic. Alright. Now we got all the time in the world to do our before landing checklist. Line of sight set us to be good. Alright, we're at 1,200 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and put my power to about 2,000 RPMs. Trim the airplane and have a nice stabilized. There we go. Trim. Not 1,500 RPMs. There we go. And if you got the power set good, it'll get you about 90 something knots. Before landing checklist, fuel selected both mixture rich, carb heat on, landing light on, seatbelt secure. Alright, got a little bit low. Let's get that altitude back. I'm gonna be my touchdown point. Throttle. First notch of flaps. Pitch for my airspeed. So hold it until I get to my airspeed. Don't let the nose drop until you get to your airspeed, but don't let it hop up either. Alright. Don't start descending. Get my airspeed I want, which is 75. Alright. So clear left. Maryland traffic number 12345. Base runway 2. Smooth. Airspeed 75. Slow to 70. Second notch of flaps. Alright, aim point, airspeed. My airspeed should be 70. That's looking good. Flaps are set down. Alright, 500 feet. We want 70. Clear right, clear left. When you turn, don't let the nose just drop. Keep it where you're going to keep your speed. We want 65. And then we're over threshold to go to 60. If I feel like I'm descending fast, I'll add power. Line up on the runway. I'm looking for the captain's bars. That's where I'm at. We got the winds pushing us. I need to get back on center line. I got slow. Woo! Oh, that was a horrible landing. So that's what happens. I had a left tailwind. I needed to put more crosswind in. Cool. Well, there we go. So that was like that was most of the maneuvers you're gonna do in your private pilot check ride. Yeah, that was fun doing it in the sim. Running through that, you can see doing the VR thing works out pretty cool. I think it gives you good perspective on the sight picture and whatnot. I gotta hone in on how to what the right speeds are and everything for the sim, just to make sure that I can practice it in the sim. What I will say too is, don't get too discouraged if you can't land in the sim, or you can land in the sim but can't land in real life, because it's just a sim. And it's, this is a sim that is it's close, but it ain't all the way 100% accurate. But it's really good. So let me know what you think. Give me critiques on this flight and all the things I did wrong, right? And let me know what else you want to see. Cool. Kitty T out.